look out, Jet fans. There is water on the main deck, the luau deck. We are taking on water now. And we told you when the Rex Ryan thing went bad, it was going to blow up. It wasn't just going to be a run-of-the-mill 8-8 kind of thing. It was going to be, as they say in the North Shore, a disaster.
No, they say it in the South Shore.
They say it everywhere long.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you. No, I'm just telling you right now. It's
disaster.
The South Shore. It's a disaster. But I would say this: it's not a disaster just yet. It's week 6.
Water's on the deck.
Oh my God! I mean, and you call yourself a Jet fan?
I am a diehard Jet fan.
No, you're not.
But I sense. I know what's going on. The band is still playing. We hit the iceberg.
I told you that.
That's what just happened.
I told you at the beginning
Hopefully
of the
we
season.
don't sink.
Because of the way that the schedule was laid out to protect the division matchups from a potential lockout for the first 4 weeks of the season, that the way this thing has transpired for the Jets is not good.
No, and listen, we all looked at the schedule. We know the deal. You have 3 straight road games, but there's water on the deck.
Okay.
I'm like the captain, and I'm looking back and I go, Jensen. What's it called? Jensen?
Jensen.
That's what they call the lower
Ensign.
people.
Ensign. Not
Or
Jensen.
yeoman.
Yeoman or ensign.
Jensen.
No, ensign.
Is that Jensen?
It's either yeoman or ensign.
Is it yeoman or yeoman?
No,
yeoman.
Yeoman.
Yeoman?
Yeah.
Anyway, ensign. Water on the deck. That's what's happening. Hide the women and children. We've just hit the first iceberg.
Well,
Good morning, Jerry.
You know who would be the first off the deck?
Yeah, Chris Collinsworth. Leave the women and children behind. Save your own ass.
Right. See you.
Here's,
Goodbye.
Jerry Rello.
I'm on TV. I got to go.
We will get your calls on the Jet Iceberg in a minute, but first, Jerry, what do you
Brought
got?
to you by Chevy. It's the season of doing and saving. Visit ChevyOffers.com. Here is Jets wide receiver Derek Mason the night they lost to the Ravens, October 2nd.
Y'all saw it. There's some cracks, and don't nobody really want to identify the cracks.
Well, apparently the Jets have
There you go.
identified them.
He was the
Mason-
crack.
Was that
apparently.
him? When did he say that?
That was after the Raven game.
That was
night of
after the Raven game.
That's correct, yes. That was what we heard
There's
the
some
following
cracks.
morning, the cracks. Mason traded to the Texans for a conditional draft pick. Probably should have seen it coming when you listen to Rex Ryan Monday when he was asked if he's been happy with Mason's production so far.
Well, guys, let's face it. I thought Derek would catch 80 to 90 balls. Okay, that hasn't happened.
And now it will not happen, so they
Well, you
move
don't
on.
throw him the ball that much. How's he ever going to catch
that's
80
true,
to 90
too.
balls?
Didn't play really at all Sunday in New England.
Well, he got benched, obviously,
Jeremy
and then
Curley.
when asked about that, why did he get benched? He's go, not because of his mouth. Of course he got benched because of his mouth. Because you had to show some solidarity for your embattled coach. So that's what you did. You benched the guy that came to you and started the brouhaha. And there's no doubt that Derek Mason talked to Rex Ryan about Brian Schottenheimer, and that was the punishment for doing
So
it.
how about this? So then there's this whole crap about my door is always open. You can come in and talk to me anytime you want.
Well, you can talk to me, but I mean,
But
like
you can come and talk to me, even though I may not like what you have to say. Just don't go talk to the Daily News and put it on the back page.
You know what's interesting about that, though, is he said, look at me. I would never put a muzzle on my guys. I mean, he said that.
He said it to me when I interviewed him on the NFL Today.
So why then this?
I don't know.
Because
I have no idea.
we're taking on water.
Oh, come on. It's week 6.
Okay.
Craig, I'm telling you
not
right
taking on
now,
water.
if recent history means anything to you over the last 10 years.
It does, or else you're doomed to repeat it.
There are probably 2 or 3 teams right now that look like they can't get out of their own way that come December are going to be right in the mix for a playoff
Yeah,
spot.
well, let's
and
hope
one of those
they
teams,
patch it.
And guess what? One of those teams is going to ride the wild card all the way to the Super Bowl.
Well, now you're being very specific. Now you're saying either the Jets, the Eagles, or who, Atlanta
Well, why
is
not?
going to be in the Super Bowl? That's what you're saying now?
How about the Giants?
Well, but the Giants aren't in the same boat as the other
reason
three
I say
teams.
this is I know you can look at each of these teams' schedules and go, oh, my God, they're tough. Oh, my God, they're tough. You don't know what those teams, what kind of shape they're going to be in 4 weeks from now.
I know this.
God forbid if Tom Brady breaks a leg or Aaron Rodgers breaks a leg or Drew Brees goes down with a separated shoulder, which, by the way, I don't know if you've seen the injury list each and every Monday after these games are over and how many guys are out for the year. It's a war of attrition, dude. So you can't say that what the situation the team is in today is going to be where they are 5 weeks from now.
I'm not playing the 5-week game. Today, there's water on the luau deck, and I don't like it.
And there's one way to get it off.
Okay, yeah, you got to call
ship a guy
Liza.
out. You ship a guy out, and you go to work today, and you make sure your players know that this is unacceptable. Much like Mike Tomlin did with the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. All those injuries that the Pittsburgh Steelers have, right, and they look like crap. He put them in pads last week, made them practice, and look what they did to the Titans on Sunday.
They beat him now. What else you got there, Jerome?
It's Tebow time in Denver. The Broncos announcing that he takes over as their starting quarterback this week. They'll next play next week against the Dolphins. John Fox says when you don't win, changes need to be made.
1-4 has a lot to do with it.
And Tebow says this was his calling.
I'm just blessed to be a Denver Bronco and to be able to go out there and play for this organization is truly a privilege.
Privilege, and I want to thank God for all of it.
I got to believe the other guys in those meeting rooms like,
He was 4 for 10 for 68 yards.
Almost brought him back, Greg.
Yeah, but according to ESPN, he's the best quarterback
Yes.
in the history of the league.
right. Well,
The Super Bowl.
You think, by the way, you think he went right to church or whatever place he goes to worship right after the game?
I don't think that really should have anything to do with any of this stuff. But I can guarantee you right now, his teammates, especially the guys that shared the position with him,
Right.
Like you haven't heard anything from Brady Quinn. You really haven't heard anything from Kyle Orton. You know damn well they're like, oh, this guy, man.
Well, listen.
Well, he's going to get his chance.
Yeah, he is going to.
It wasn't like they were winning with Kyle Orton. You might as well bring in, the God Squad and see what
Well,
they can
it's
do.
kind of interesting. They're 1-4, and the Vikings are 1-4, and the Vikings have a first-round draft choice sitting on their bench.
I'm putting all my money on the Broncos this week because God loves Tim
Yeah,
Tebow.
but you know, guess what?
No way they're
They have
gonna
a bye
lose.
this week
Right.
Well, even better. I can't
Next
lose.
game against the Dolphins. There you go.
Go ahead.
in Miami.
That's right. Super Bowl 48, MetLife Stadium. They've announced the date. It'll be February 2nd of 2014, and the Super Bowl the following year will be in Phoenix.
Yeah, there's a great line, by the way, about the Super Bowl on February 2nd, 14 at
Yeah.
MetLife Stadium. Now, I happen to like John Mara, the owner of the Giants, a great deal. He's a classy man. He's articulate. And he's bright.
And that family's always done right by the NFL.
And his father was the single best tipper on every Wednesday night at Lobster Night
There you go.
at Westchester Country Club when I Valley parked cars. And I remember things like that.
That's good.
Guy gave me a minimum of a fin every time, every Wednesday.
And this was back in the 70s.
I was not Valley parking in the 70s.
Oh, what was this, the 80s?
It's the mid to late 80s. Every Wednesday night, Wellington Mara
Was that
came
like
to Lobster
1988?
Night. I don't remember the exact year. I guess.
What year? I mean, was it 88?
Why is 88 relevant?
You were parking cars when he was winning
Super Bowl
MVPs.
then. I don't know.
Yeah,
You were parking cars and I was in the
parked
Super
cars
Bowl.
the summer of '88. That's right.
And I was in the Super Bowl. Come get
John
some.
Mara said something that might be the single stupidest thing
Uh-oh, here we go.
anybody has ever said.
All right.
Okay.
It's stupider
Yeah.
than what Joe Girardi said about A-Rod and Teixeira.
Oh, it's more stupider than what Joe Girardi said about the bad luck for
Can't
A-Rod
be
and
any
Teixeira.
stupider than that.
It's more stupider.
No,
Trust
it's-
me. You ready? February 2nd is when the Super Bowl is going to take place in Jersey, okay?
right.
Right, yeah.
John Mara actually said yesterday, and I'm going to give you a direct quote, okay? Historically, it's warmer on February 2nd.
Well, you can go back in time and chart every
Warmer than
February
what?
2nd.
Well, yeah, what
And the
are we
third?
comparing it to? Are we comparing it to like
The average
January
lows in
2nd?
February 2nd are 25 degrees in New Jersey every February
And let me
for
ask
the
you a
last
question.
million years. That's the sell now. Historically, it's warmer on the 2nd. Shut up.
You know what I would have said if I were him? Think
Right.
about this, guys. We could have sleet, we could have rain, and
Right.
we could have wind, and we've never had a Super Bowl in those conditions. How exciting will that be?
Yeah.
And
Historically,
on top
it's
of that,
warmer on February
It's the
2nd.
only Super Bowl in history where you can go skiing right across the street indoors
Right.
on February 2nd
And July
then
2nd.
go to the game.
What else you got, Jerry?
How about Game 3 of the ALCS?
Line drive down the right field line, slicing toward the corner, air ball! Off the wall, in to score comes Jackson, and they'll hold Santiago at third. RBI, 2-out double for Cabrera.
Snap to 1-1 tie in the 5th. Dan Dickerson, WXYT. Miguel Cabrera later hit a home run. Tigers beat the Rangers 5-2. Cabrera tells Fox, we just got to keep going.
We got to play long baseball right now. We got to go out there and do our job and try and play more baseball.
Manager
Nice.
Jim Leland says now that his team's only down 2-1, of course we're back in the series.
This is two real good teams. They're the defending champs, and we're trying to dethrone them.
Doug Pfister went deep
See,
for
the
the win.
average
He
temperature
threw-
in New York City in February
Still on that?
Here we go.
is 5 and -3.
That's not true.
That can't be right.
It's in Celsius.
Well, what good does that do us?
What do you mean?
No one knows what Celsius.
Fahrenheit?
0 is 32.
Right.
0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees
So
Fahrenheit.
-3.
So you're saying that it's in the high 20s.
Right.
There you go.
That's
Why I
gonna be
said that 5
great
minutes ago.
to hang out there.
Because I read the article. I didn't need you to go to
Yeah, but
it.
listen.
I'm just saying, I did read it. I read.
So what do you think we should do next? Maybe we should do average
No, I think we're done with it.
precipitation.
Yeah.
Average.
Find out how
What
much
else
it
you got, Jerry?
snows.
Average temps.
Game 4 will be this afternoon at 4:20. Tonight, Game 3, NLCS Cardinals Brewers. They're tied at a game apiece. Giovanni Gallardo and Chris Carpenter. Reports say Theo Epstein likely leaving Boston to become the new GM of the Cubs. Red Sox, though, on something back in return should he walk away with a year left on his deal. Yankee manager Joe Girardi held his end-of-season press conference Tuesday. You guys referenced the A-Rod and Teixeira stuff. He also said CC Sabathia, he's hopefully comes back. And how about his views on his $82 million starter, A.J. Burnett?
He's a work in progress.
That cost the Yankees
He's a work in progress.
$16 million a year. A work in
Listen,
progress.
A.J.
Oh.
Burnett did a better job this postseason than CC Sabathia did.
Who, by the way, again, you can't give this guy an extra 2 or 3
Well,
years.
he's going to get it. He's going to get it 7
Are you
years.
kidding?
The average precipitation in
What are we
February is 3.2 inches.
Great.